Hello there, gentlemen and ladies. Welcome. This is the Cats Pajamas with NYU broadcasting the Collegiate Star League playoffs. Yes, it is the playoffs. I've been casting this for the past few weeks, the regular season, and this has been... this has been leading up to this playoff set. This is day number 4. I believe this is round of 32 action. Hey, look, it says it right there on my cool screen in front of me. So, hello, NYU. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. Excited for these matches. You know, I'm gonna have a keen eye too because, of course, my team did just make it out of their first playoff match. So, you know, down the line, very likely we might end up playing the winner here. So, should be fun.
All right. So, doing a little advanced scouting, if nothing else.
Oh, always got to think in the long, you know.
I like it. No, that's a solid plan. So, all right, okay, so this was all supposed... Oh, wow, having trouble speaking English today. Done so much casting. Did, as you have casted Reddit events, I casted the SC Reddit Open yesterday, partially with Diggity, just before DJ Wait and JP got on. And casting 6 hours of the SC Reddit Open is like casting 13 hours of anything else because of how packed they give their games. So I may be a little slow on the uptake today, guys. So I say something completely stupid and or fall asleep at the microphone. Do not be surprised or alarmed. I am okay. All right. So it looks like everyone is joining. I've just been promoted to lobby host, have I?
Indeed.
Well, power that I'm not used to. I'm not sure what this is for, actually, but that's okay.
I don't know either. Because you're not the admin. You're just the lowly caster.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. So Gila Boy saying it's in our capable hands now. I suppose that means that it is up to us. All right. So if Snick Snipe is ready, then we're going to go ahead and get started. Greed says good luck, good luck. And Snick Snipe giving the question mark. Yes. Are you ready, Snick Snipe? That's what we were asking. Thought I'm playing. Oh, there was a... Oh, crap, we have to tell him...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There was a stand-in. Huh.
Yeah, of course, he's still the same race, so, you know, this is the kind of thing that shouldn't really be too big a deal, of course. I believe each team is allowed a couple substitutions or so forth, you know, everything by the book here.
Okay, and I believe that we have, and I actually have to bring this up on, give me just 1 second here. And I know that, guys, don't worry, this is going to go to some picture. Let me go ahead, and I have to add a media file here real quick. Sorry this took time getting the file. CSL playoff teaser. All right, guys. So here we go. We're going to move into the first match here very soon. Begin recording here in 3, 2, 1, mark. So thanks, guys, for joining us. This is the Cats Pajamas and NYU, and I don't think anything we can do can live up to that intro video after that. That was just awesome. So, whoa, intro video, CSL guys. Way to get this hyped up. Hopefully I can do this justice. That was awesome. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner of Xel'Naga Caverns of Fitting is starting map as ever. We have our representative out of the University of Houston. He is Michael Niven, otherwise known as Snick Snipe, 2400 Masters random player with a 59% win rate on ladder. He's both a 1v1 and 2v2 player for Houston, currently with a 3-4 record on 1v1, 3-3 record for 2v2. Against Protoss in the CSL, he is 0-1. He tries to substitute play the ace for other teams because apparently doesn't love his own enough. I guess that was a little bit of an inside joke to something he did a few weeks ago. His opponent here in the top right-hand corner is, hey, actually I have to get the new information. He is Paul On, otherwise known as Greed, a 3200 Masters Protoss player, 52% win rate on ladder. He is only 1-0 in the CSL. And that was a PVZ on Xel'Naga, it appears, in the second to the last week of the season. So he is a relatively recent addition to NYU's lineup. So, all right, here we are. Ooh, and right away we have a gateway into a Forge opening. Creed not deciding what he really wants to do. Decides to go with a Forge to start the game, though, as he already has pylons in the back of Snick Snipe's base.
And his probe almost getting picked off there, so this is just insanely aggressive. We do have one Zell in production here, and if you can get this probe back around and wall off, but it doesn't look like he's actually going to be able to wall off in the back there, and it looks like this cannon rush isn't actually going to be working. You can see a lot of probes being not mining while these pylons are here, but this is just going to really cripple any tech and just any late game progression for Greed. So you can see he is throwing down 2 cannons and a gateway in his main base. So I'm not really too sure about this opening here. He obviously going for a cannon rush, but his plan just didn't work at all. Snipe reacted too fast. No cannons went down, and so that rush is certainly going to put Greed quite far back.
Yeah, seems like it was a really weird spur-of-the-moment decision. He had the gateway down. It was about halfway through construction. Then he decided to put up the Forge and canceled it. The 2 pylons, you know, I see what he was going for, trying to wall in behind the mineral line so he could just pick apart those probes for a little while. But then the Zealot comes out, and he just loses a couple hundred resources really for nothing. So his own gateway just finishing. He does have a couple of cannons up for defense, as you mentioned, putting down his cybernetics core down now. But Snick Snipe is already going into Warp Gate technology, and if I were him, I'd be chrono boosting that out. There it goes. So he is very quickly going to have up a number of gateway units. Could turn this into a full-fledged rush if he wants to.
Yeah, absolutely. There are 2 cannons up. He is going to sack in a probe. He sees those cannons, so it's going to be interesting to see how he wants to respond here. I would have to say just going straight to Colossus would definitely be a great choice. You're going to be so far ahead. Your opponent spent so much money and minerals, diverted their tech that you're really going to be able to tech up extremely safe. And once Colossus gets out, there's really not going to be much that can happen. And it looks like Greed is moving out with a probe here. It looks like he might go for some kind of early expansion, which would just be the most unorthodox thing I could really think of him doing.
Especially because he has the double gas down. If he wastes that many minerals, I mean, he's got to do nothing but put up pure sentries after that. Otherwise, he just won't have the minerals for anything else. He is now chrono boosting out his Warp Gate technology. Oh, he just put down a chrono boost on his gateway and then canceled whatever unit he had producing because he's supply blocked. And so that was just a free chrono boost being used, so I'm not sure if it's nerves getting to Greed or just trying to recover off of that failed cannon rush, but certainly a weird decision, and now going into a Stargate along with 2 more gateways. So this ending up turning into a 3-gateway Stargate build with upgrades and cannons. Certainly an unorthodox, odd build, to say the least.
Yeah, he is all over the place. It's pretty crazy here. Meanwhile, Snipe is playing a bit more standard. He's up to 4 gates now. He does have a robot. He's getting an observer, so he's going to be able to see exactly what's going on, and it is indeed a Void Ray on the way. And I'm just worried that this Void Ray is really not going to be too effective with the very high gateway count from his opponent.
Yeah, definitely. Although I think this is, I'm not sure what this robo is here for quite yet. It is being used for a couple of observers, and that's fine. But Snexknife is saving up a lot of money right now, and he just simply doesn't have a lot of units out there. So, very quickly he'll be able to warp in a bunch of stalkers to go ahead and react to the Void Ray that he's eventually going to see, as it is now hanging out in front of Greed's base, or over Greed's main, I guess I should say, as he warps in a couple more units as well. Finally, there's the expansion. With him saving up that many resources,
looks like units getting warped into the main here for Snipe. You can see 4 stalkers on the high ground there, and if he can just get another wave of units in here, he's going to be in great shape, as this observer's getting a good look, sees the Void Ray, has a good idea what's going on, and here we go, more units getting warped in. The stalkers are moving in, and this looks like a lot of trouble for Greed.
Yeah, that was beautiful. No, I didn't see what was going. Thank you for pointing that out, because that Void Ray is going to fall immediately, and he can get right outside of the range of these photon cannons. Greed now pulling back 2 of the cannons for defense, but he's going to lose all of these pylons in the meantime. That immediately supply blocks him. Greed pulling in a bunch of probes, and those are going to get cut down along with that Void Ray. Void Ray falling first. It looks like there may be enough here to hold this off for Snexknife, but at what cost? Right now, Greed is supply blocked. He has lost a lot of probes. He's lost mining time. Another Void Ray almost fell. So he is going to finally take that down, but set back pretty considerably now.
Yeah, he certainly, I thought that would just kind of kill him, but he did actually stay alive, so that's somewhat impressive, but of course he still has his work cut out for him. The second Nexus is up for his opponent, and he's also, had just shown his tech. He's shown his Void Rays, so there's definitely going to be no element of surprise coming now.
Yeah, and I guess we do have an Immortal still coming up, not putting down any other gateways or, using that. He is deciding just to continue with those Immortals because he does know, I guess apart from the Void Ray, that this was a pretty Stalker-heavy composition. But Greed does have up a pretty good amount of units. I mean, a really good amount of units. If he were to, warp in another round of units and all in or something like that, he may have a shot at destroying some of his opponent's economy, but really the longer he sits here on this one base now and just kind of gathers up units, the farther and farther ahead that Snexknife is going to get, just due to the fact that he has his economy on his natural going, as you were talking about before, and he's going to be able to produce like a monster here very shortly off of these 4 gates and Robo.
Yeah, so it looks like he is going to be moving out for a little attack and throwing down a Nexus behind this. The Observer is spotting everything here, and with this attack, you'll notice there is no probe with it, so it's going to be impossible to reinforce, and that's just going to make it so difficult to break his opponent. But just taking a look at the unit counts here, Snipe might not quite have a big enough force quite yet, so he's going to need to do some delaying. Definitely needs to get his workers off of mining here, and here we go, big engagement coming up.
Yeah, so here comes Snexknife moving in. Oh, a couple of good force fields there, pulling those units back where those Zealots weren't able to engage at all. They were pulling themselves forward. They were absorbing some damage, but that gave Snexknife a little bit of a time to regroup and warp in yet more units, which, as you pointed out before, just isn't being done for Greed. I think he realizes this and is deciding to move away. He could chase down those Void Rays if he wants to, but deciding not to, allowing those units to escape. Cute little Observer being hidden there down at the bottom right-hand corner. And so Snexknife will have that approach well guarded, and we do see an expansion coming down for Greed at this time.
Yeah, taking a look at the worker count here, it is still 35 probes to 27 for Greed, so Greed quite far behind in terms of the economy, but there's still no real tech transition here coming out from Snipe. Usually you would see a robotics bay coming out, or possibly a Stargate or something. Twilight Council Blink is very common to get, but he's just sticking with some Immortals, it looks like, and that's possibly he's just worried about dying at this point.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that. That's very odd to me, because he held off the cannon rush very, very well. I had to know he was a little bit up ahead in that engagement. Warped in a few units, and granted, he didn't kill his opponent, but he pulled a lot of probes off of mining. He killed a lot of gateway units. You had to have figured that he was ahead. He did the right thing by expanding, but he's just been really slow to really move to any other sort of technologies you were pointing out. Hasn't been producing a ton of units, just kind of content to sit back for a while, but wasn't really macroing effectively during that. It's now starting to kick in for him, as he has a 5th gateway coming up. Now he has this robotic space, still double producing probes, putting up another gas, but it took him a little while, it seems like, to get to that realization.
Yep, this is quite true, and it looks like he is wanting to get aggressive right now. I'm not too sure I really agree with that timing, but just given the econ advantage he has, he should be in pretty good shape to do a lot of damage here. Just needs to make sure that the Zealots are indeed in front. Very common mistake, for the mid-level Protoss players, just having the one control group and not having the Zealots in front. And here we go. It does look like the Zealots are kind of in the back. Some good placed force fields are going to buy some time, and the Void Ray is actually doing a lot of damage here.
Yeah, those Zealots were pulled to the back. Fortunately, though, for both players, at least in Six-Type's circumstance, and he is going to move in now, try and pick off as many units as he can. The Void Rays are really going to be the X-Factor here. How quickly do they get picked off? Because this is a relatively heavy Zealot and Immortal composition, and if those Stalkers, if their attention is focused anywhere else, those Void Rays are going to be able to charge up and rip through those units. So Snick